everyone and welcome to IszyMedia. My name is Israel Ajayi. Wuri. If you've been following this tutorial for a month now, congratulations to you. I am so excited because at least you've known one or two things about Photoshop, and in the next couple of months we are going to be covering the later interface. So this is the end of the first quarter. This is the first month. 4 video tutorials that you can work with, and you can become a guru as time goes on. People keep asking what's the meaning of guru. Don't worry, I'll answer that later. So this is the end of this section. We have 2 other sections to go, which is the month of September and the month of October. But for the month of August, this is the end of this one, and I'll quickly cover up what we need to cover up in Photoshop without talking too much. So let's move into Photoshop. I hope I will be funny today. Now here we are in Photoshop, and I kind of looked for a picture around, took some couple of pictures myself and crop it out, and I feel it to be cool for this particular checked section of this particular tutorial. We've spoken about our tools from the move tool down to the brush tool, so we'll be picking up from our clone stamp tool. I hope you understand all this, and I hope you've been practicing over time with these things. Don't worry, you are free to make mistakes. If you don't understand anything, you can always send me a message and I'll be very happy to answer you. So without any further ado, let's move on. So this is our close stamp tool. Now first and foremost, I want to double click and make my layer, and I want to unlock my layer, so I don't want it to be locked anymore. So I double click and I press enter, so I can decide to rename this if I want to rename it. This is share a coke, so we are sharing a tutorial today. So now our close stamp tool. Now this is what we want to do today with our close stamp tool. Now if you notice, we have another option, which is our pattern stamp tool. Now the shortcut for our close stamp tool is S. So now this is what your close stamp tool does. It's giving me a warning now because I'm not doing it the right way. So this is how you use close stamp tool. You press your Alt key. Now when you press your Alt key, it gives you this little button, little cross button in the cycle. Then you click. As soon as you click, you automatically sample this particular color. Then with that, you can see the plus ahead of the line I'm cleaning, and you see how beautiful it looks like. Now I can decide to clean up this place. Now I can decide to clean up that place. Now that is what you use your close stamp to do. So let's quickly see what we can quickly do. Now be careful with the way you use close stamp tool, because if you use it wrongly, they will know it is actually artificial. So if you want to use close stamp tool, you should be very wise, very wise while you're using close stamp tool. In the creative hand, it can be a masterpiece, but in the hand that is not creative, it can really be a mess. So close stamp tool is just used to, you can use to tidy up some things that you feel it's not really cool. But this is a tutorial, so for the sake of this tutorial, we might not really be able to cover a whole lot concerning this close stamp tool. And you can also increase your brush just to save a whole lot. Now I want to be very careful. I don't want to do rubbish. So you can see this is like a close, the reflection of where it was. Forget that. Now you can see I can decide to tidy up this place, tidy up this corner here. You can see how it looks like before, and you can see what we are having after. So with your close stamp tool, you can do a whole lot. Trust me, you can just make things that are fake original. So that's that with that. Don't let me just cover up with everything, and I don't want to be lazy either. So let me see if I can quickly cover this section before we move to the next phase of the tutorial. So you can see the whole thing looks tidied and very clean. So that is the work of a close stamp, so you can use it to do a whole lot of things. So don't worry, now furthermore we will be working with it and we'll be very creative with it too. But for now, I'm just teaching you the basics, making you understand the basics. Now we have the pattern stamp tool. Now what does our pattern stamp tool do? Notice at our menu bar here. Notice in our menu bar here, we have so many options. We have the blend mode, the mode options. We have our pattern options too. So now we have different kind of pattern here. What this is just going to simply do is just paint this pattern over this place, over the image And if you have beautiful patterns already, trust me, you would really love your work. Don't worry, I'll be teaching you how to create patterns, I'll be teaching you how to create brushes and the likes, but for now we're sticking with the basics. So now see what I'm going to do. And automatically, you see the way it paints it over. Now that is a very beautiful thing there, but it might not be what you want to do at that particular point in time, but having this in mind is just one beautiful piece. So let's move to the next one. The next one is our history brush tool. Now what does our history brush do? The best way I can explain history brush to you is just, it keeps a memory of what you've done over time. Then you can paint out some things. For example, let me just cut to the chase. If I turn my image to black and white, if I make my image black and white, now for example, if I make my image black and white, now that is very simple. Ctrl Shift U to make Ctrl Shift U to make your image black and white. Now with my history brush tool, I can simply paint around. Then you can simply see how unique the image is gonna look like, giving it this. Let me undo this and just, I might just do it like this. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to do something much more. Now, this is it. Now, trust me, you can do a whole lot aside from what I've done already. Now, for example, if I want to do that again, I can decide to use my magic wand to pick up the reds in the image. Pick up as much as I can in the image, trying to pick up the whole red. Let's forget that though, because it's really going to take our time. So, and I really don't have that time to waste. Now, for example, if you can just pick up our red, let me use this for example now. And let me just pick up the reds only. Now this looks rough though, but when you're doing yours, try making it as good looking as possible. I'm cool with this, with this, with this, with this. Just trying to make a rough sketch, okay? So I wouldn't affect things that are not supposed to be affected. Now I'm going to lose this lady and the baby over there, so just get the overview of what I'm trying to do, okay? Don't be too, I don't know how to say it. You understand what I'm trying to say though? Now, like I said, this takes a very patient process, so you have to really get a bottle of Kool-Aid or a glass cup of Kool-Aid and keep sipping. For a click you sip, for a click you sip until you get to the final piece. Now, for example, with this selected image, if I make it black and white, now you can see it is solely black and white. Now you can see. Now if I come to my history brush tool, I can simply use my history brush to just paint some particular portion out. Try to form a pattern around this hooks, or should I call it bait? Something though, try to isolate this one, make it more obvious than the rest, and as soon as you're done with everything, it will look beautiful though, and it will have this patch color, this patch of red color on black and on the black color. So it all depends on what you want to do though. Just get creative with whatever thing you want to do, but for now I'm just telling you what you can use that to do. So let's move back to the image we were using before and let's undo all the things we've done already. So now we have our art history brush tool. Now our art history brush tool, what I basically use it for is I can give it a feel of, okay, I painted this particular image, though with some additional plugins though. I'll make it look very realistic, but for now I just, you can see what happens as soon as I click. I clicked and I held it down, and you can see how popping everything was. And I click and I drag also while holding my my left click down. You can see Now that isn't cool though, but just you get the gist, you get the idea of what I'm trying to say. By left clicking, can you see? Now, as soon as we're done with this, you see what this is gonna look like. Now it might not look cool to you though, but trust me, you might need it someday. So let's leave that as that. So let's move to our next tool, which is our eraser tool. Our eraser tool, we have our background eraser tool, our magic eraser tool. Now this magic eraser tool works like the magic wand tool. You just simply click and it just disappears. Now you can see my background is transparent, so let me quickly add the background here quickly so that you would see what is beneath the background. Yeah, I've done that already. So now this is the background color. Now if you don't understand how I did that, send me a message, I will reply. So now this is it. As soon as we click on the image, you can see it does not pick any selection, it just went off straight up. You can see how dynamic it works. So in a very creative hand, this tool is very, very awesome, but if it's in a hand that is not okay, trust me, this is disastrous. So without any further ado, let's move to eraser tool itself. Eraser tool, the reason why I do not really want to cover that is because eraser tool is very simple to use. Just click and do what? Erase. And now remember, if you right click, you can make your size small. You can soften the edges, just to have this soft feel. Let me increase the size a little and soften the edges a bit. Now you can see the edge look pretty soft, and trust me, these are tools that you can do without. You understand what I'm trying to say? And I'll be very creative with it by next month, so I'll be creating some couple of stunts with it and you'll really love it. So now I used this just some minutes ago. This is our paint bucket tool and our gradient tool. Now what does your paint bucket tool does? Now, like its name, paint bucket, it simply just paints something off, and that's just its work. Now I have created a new layer. I think I've said it in my previous tutorial how to create a new layer. Just come here and click and it creates a new layer. And in Photoshop we work in layers, we work in hierarchy. You understand what I'm trying to say? So now if I decide to change this color, now this is my background color. Now this is the image we just destroyed, and this is the image, and this is the layer I want to place my new color. So I can easily come to my foreground color, double click, look for my perfect color, the color I really want to use. Okay, let's go with that. And with my paint bucket tool, I just simply click, boom, and that's it. So likewise, your gradient tool, you have your menu bar here, to your options bar rather, to make your options, to make changes, to make your selections and the likes. Now for example, now if I'll be going with, we have the linear gradient tool, the radial gradient tool, we have the angle gradient tool and the like. So if I'm going with the radial gradient tool, I can just simply click from the middle and drag to the left and see what it's going to give you. See, we have the color at the center, and that is due to the color chosen at the gradient editor. So that is that, for that you can decide to change the color to something different. If you want to choose probably this, okay, and I say okay. Now I have to come, click and drag again once more from any direction. There's no just answer, and I can also make it even wider. You understand? I can make it very small too. So it all depends on what you want to do. So I don't want to exit 10 minutes. I don't know if I've done already because my stopwatch is not with me. So but before then, let me just give you an highlight on this, and that will be the end of this tutorial. So we have our blur tool. What does your blur tool does? Like its name, blur. You can simply use it to blur a particular image. Now I don't want my system to slow down though, so it might really take time before it calculates everything, but simple as ABC, you can simply use it to blur a particular section in a particular picture. Likewise the sharpen, likewise the smudge. Now the smudge just switch, it kind of makes the image looks like liquid, just like liquidify. But I'll be covering this particular tool in the next tutorial, and I'll really go in depth in it. So for now I just want to just stop where I am right now. I don't want to make this tutorial more than 10 minutes so that you can easily watch and digest what you've learned already today. So I hope you understand what you have been watching since, and I hope you understand the tutorials. I hope you enjoyed everything so far. So good. Hope you don't have any question, and if you do have any question, you can always send me a message. If you have any idea or any suggestions, I would really appreciate it. We are open, so we would really appreciate those things from you guys. So I would like you to like this video, subscribe to our channel, because after these first 3 months of awesome tutorials, we'll be diving into the world of awesome creativity. Like, you just keep teaching out ideas and concepts for you to, for your workflow to be very easy and for you to enjoy Photoshop. So until next time, my name is Israel Ajay.